Hi everybody, this is a red and white deck based around Nahiri's Resolve, a new enchantment from March of the Machine Aftermath. Nahiri's Resolve functions kind of like a teleportation circle, for those of you who might remember that one from recent standards. We get to give our creatures +1/+0 and haste. At the beginning of our end step, we can exile any number of artifacts and creatures we have, and then return those back to the battlefield under our control, of course, at the beginning of our next upkeep. So one angle I wanted to push with this card was to use artifacts and creatures with enters the battlefield abilities, and just keep getting value out of them over and over and over again. So let's take a look at what we've got here and see how it works. On the low end, we've got 2 copies of Citizen's Crowbar for a little enchantment and artifact removal. This is kind of a running theme in the deck in that this artifact is an equipment that comes with a free creature, and so when we remove the equipment from play and it comes back, we get another free creature all over again. We're running 4 Ossification in here because it's some great removal. Hexgold Halberd. The 4 Mirrodin cards come with a nice 2/2 creature to get automatically attached to, and so these are the cards I kind of tried to focus on a little bit, but I think we grabbed the best ones for this deck. So Hexgold Halberd gives it first strike and trample only on our turn, so kind of a nice Grizzly Bears effect that comes with a little bonus if we want it to. Over here in the 3 drops, we got Brutal Cathar. This one ended up being just okay. If anything, I would probably sub this card out for something different. Maybe something a little bigger, because as you'll notice, a lot of our stuff is really small and none of our enchantments really help out with toughness. So obviously Wedding Announcement comes to mind in this slot, but there could be something better with an enters the battlefield ability. Running 2 Witty Roastmaster. I think I overestimated the amount of creature tokens we'd be creating, because I really enjoy Witty Roastmaster over in Commander. I've got a nice Devils deck that's just producing Devils constantly, and so this guy is really annoying in that format. Then we've got 3 copies of Bladehold War-Whip. This was probably the best equipment that I was using in this deck. Its ability is always on, it makes our other equipment cost less to activate, and being able to put double strike on just about anything is a great way to finish off a game in a hurry. I also wanted to try out 2 copies of Harnessed Snubhorn, a 4-drop that is a 2/5 with Vigilance. It's got an ability where if it deals combat damage to a player, we get to return an artifact or enchantment card straight to the battlefield, don't even have to put it in our hand. I guess I was expecting more artifact removal from our opponents, so this might fit better in a different kind of deck, but in a few games the toughness was actually enough to buy us a little bit of time and then go over the top of our opponent with something else. We could probably switch this out for more Planeswalkers or maybe one of the Elesh Norns. And then in the 5 drops, we've got Repair and Recharge. Again, I kind of thought more things would be getting removed on our side of the board, so pretty often this really didn't have any targets for us. But Dragonwing Glider, the threat of this one was actually able to close out one game. We get a free 4/4 flyer that's already got haste, so even if we don't have Nahiri's Resolve on the board, this can get in for some quick damage. So obviously probably needs a little tuning, but I wanted to share with you all what Nahiri's Resolve can do and put forward some ideas of some ways we can go with this deck. So anyway, let's get over and see a few games with this deck over on the Ranked Standard ladder. I'll be with you for commentary, of course, but as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. All right, let's get into it here. We've got Nahiri's Resolve. Time to start testing this out. I'm going to lead off with the Plains, pass it on back to the opponent. Starts off with a Forest and an Evolving Adaptive. Well, we have got to put that away before it gets out of hand. Ossification here on a basic land. And exile that creature. Opponent follows up with a Plains. Hopeful Initiate. All right. Let's see. They're a ways off from putting counters on that. I mean, hopefully. So let's get down the War-Whip. It's at least a decent blocker for the moment. We need to start setting up our board for the eventual Nahiri's Resolve. Opponent with land number 3 here. We're going with Bloated Contaminator. That is a big fella right there. Well, we need to build up our mana. Let's play Eiganjo out. We can ossify the Bloated Contaminator. And so far, they've got nothing else on the board, so this Initiate won't be getting any counters pretty soon. And then, double strike. We can follow up with this Hexgold Halberd. Just create a vanilla 2/2 creature for now. Only gets the keywords on our turn. Okay, opponent's got another Adaptive. All right, so they're starting to spread out a little bit. There's land number 5. Opponent reading our equipment. Let's send them in. They're kind of evenly matched, and if our creatures die, that's not a huge deal thanks to the Resolve. Okay, no blocks. We get them down to 10. We're going to play Nahiri's Resolve now. We're going to exile both of these equipment. And we keep the creature tokens, which are now 3/2s, actually. That's not bad. All right. Opponent's got an Ozolith, so this is some kind of counter deck. All right, things are getting bigger. Oh, wow. Okay. Initiate gets counters along with everybody else. We drop to 7 from that attack. Big one from the opponent. Our equipment comes back in, and yeah, let's just go ahead and play this glider. We've got enough to hastily get in there. Wow, good game. Alrighty, back here with another one. Got our Repair and Recharge, got our Witty Roastmaster. See what we can do with these. Alright, opponent on Esper colors so far. Yeah, unfortunately nothing for us to do on 2. Would love to get some equipment going here. Alright, well, let's start off with the Roastmaster. No make disappear. That could mean they just have some removal for it. They do. Fateful Absence takes care of the Roastmaster. No roasting will be happening this evening. Alright, well. Go get him, Snubby. 2/5 Snubhorn for us. No artifacts or enchantments in our graveyard right now, as we're holding some of our enchantment reanimation, artifact reanimation in hand. Nothing to ossify. Let's just draw with this clue token. Okay, there's Nahiri's Resolve. That's good. Gonna get in for 2 here. Opponent discarded a Gix's Command. There they go. Now we're seeing some lands. Alright, Vesuvan Drifter from our opponent. Doesn't see anything on top of their deck, but we gotta watch out for the combo potential of that. Could be... If that were me, I'd put a bunch of Hide Tsugu and Kairi in that deck. Let's go for Nahiri's Resolve. Oh, so that happens every turn with the Vesuvan Drifter. Well, assuming they don't have anything left, since they didn't have anything before. Alright, opponent figured it out. Nahiri's Resolve triggers, but we don't really need to exile anything. We've got a march for our Snubhorn. You're a monster. Alright, Vesuvan becomes itself, gets in for 2. We draw Elspeth. Alright, we're going to play the Mycosynth. I think Ossification is probably the safest thing here, rather than Brutal Cathar. And then we can go Elspeth here. And make a token. And it is at least a hasty 2/1 token, thanks to the Resolve. Alright, opponent's got a march. Wow. Exiling 2 cards to take care of Elspeth. Options must be limited over there. We're going to draw ourselves, since not a lot of action in our hand either. Alright, we get a Citizen's Crowbar. Comes into play, it makes a free creature. It's a 3/2, thanks to the Resolve. And we've got haste, so we'll get in for a quick 5 here. And I think pass it on back. We're going to exile the Crowbar so we can get an extra token next turn. Might be worth considering using Mycosynth. Oh, nope. Opponent got stuck on lands there. Good game. Alright, this looks keepable. Got a nice Circuit Mender in hand. One of the first cards that came to mind when I saw Nahiri's Resolve. Just thinking about that card going in and out of play over and over again. Makes me happy. We're going to go Hexgold Halberd here, get our nice 2/2 going. Alright. Gonna get in with attacks. No removal. Let's play Circuit Mender. And gain some life. Pass it on back. Okay, opponent with a variety of lands over there. Not sure what we're up to. Alright, well, we've got enough lands to eventually get to this resolve. Let's go attacking and see what happens. Okay, opponent just lets it through. We're going to drop land number 4, pass it on back. They've got Tear Asunder. Takes care of the Halberd. Guess they didn't want us to draw from the Mender leaving play. Because they had a drag to the bottom. So that explains that. All right. Well, we've got land number 5, so unfortunately we have to use this Eiganjo. Is it worth getting down Resolve now? Yeah, I think so. Other option there was to keep up Wanderer or get down the War-Whip, but with the ability to give our stuff haste, it gives us a lot more surprise factor in the future. All right, we draw a second Cathar. I think we're going to go War-Whip here. Opponent has a Dissipate for it, so that gets exiled. Just going to pass it on back here. Oh, and they've got a Tear Asunder for our Nahiri's Resolve. Graveyard Trespasser comes down for the opponent. Now they've got some good stuff on the board. Gets down another land. We draw another War-Whip. Well, I think Ossification probably the way to go here. Target that Trespasser. I think safe to discard this Cathar. They seem to be a more controlling build, and Cathar is kind of fragile against those types of decks. Get our War-Whip down. Let's see what we've got here. Okay, opponent's got all the removal types, apparently. We're going with Path of Peril this time. Takes out our token, but the whip stays behind. Well, we're going to get our land down, pass it on back. Wandering Emperor, if we can sneak this in here, could carry us for a good ways. Let's give this a shot. All right, we get it through. No counter that time. We're going to make a creature. We draw a backup Wanderer. That's nice, too. All right, let's make another creature. It's going to have haste. We can put the whip on here. No, it doesn't have haste. Sorry, I thought the whip... the whip looked like Nahiri's Resolve. Path of Peril again. That takes care of all of our tiny samurai. We draw another land. Huh. Let's see. Let's go Cathar here with no targets. We're also going to put a +1/+1 counter on it. Get this land into play. Not enough to put the whip on it right now, unfortunately, but we can do that next turn. Opponent's got another drag to the bottom. Yeah, okay. Well, we were able to plus the Wanderer there last turn. I'm trying to save this one in our hand in case they've got an answer for it. And just use the resources we've got on the board. Let's see. Let's put the whip on the samurai. Let's get down Citizen's Crowbar. Oh, maybe. Maybe not. Okay, opponent's got Dissipate for us. Let's see what they picked up here. Trying to start hitting with a double strikey samurai. We're going to plus Wanderer again. Give the samurai a token. Try to get in for 6. All right, it works. We got him down to 5. We need one more attack. Okay, they're going looking. They discard Rafine's Tower to draw. Anything else? No, they pass it on back. All right. We're not out of this yet. Let's go to attacks first. 6 damage coming in. What do you got, opponent? 5 mana available. They've got a March. Okay. Let's It's going to gain them some life, unfortunately. But now that we've seen what they're doing, we're going to make a token, put the whip on this new token, and pass it on back. All right, they pass it back to us. We're going to plus put a counter on the token.
Show them how we greet our enemies.
Go to attacks. Did they draw more removal? Okay, no. I thought they were waiting till the last possible moment. We attack for 6, get the opponent down to 3. I think we just pass it there. So we've got... We can make another token with the Wanderer on the board. Ooh, Colossal Sky Turtle. Bringing back a March. That's going to gain them some more life. Yeah, nothing I can do about this, I don't think. Yep. All right. Opponent's staying in this one. They're back up to 7 life. Not worth flashing in our second Wanderer yet. Let's make a token again.
May your blade strike true.
Try to get this Hexgold Halberd going. Make more than one token a turn. Try to finish this off. They've got another Dissipate. Exiles our equipment. All right, well, we're going to put the whip onto the creature. Get ready for the following turn. All right, opponent's cycling Rafine's Tower again. Going to look for something. What do we got? All right, it's awful quiet over there. We draw a Snubhorn, but opponent's been exiling a lot of our equipment. I think they even exiled our Resolve, too. We're going to put a counter on this Samurai. Okay, no removal. This will drop him to 1. All right, let's get down Snubhorn and start threatening to bring some stuff back. Oh, no. We might have been able to sneak in. All right, opponent's going to Shigeki back a drag to the bottom. I just realized we might have been able to sneak in the second Wanderer to give a +1/+1 counter to the Samurai for lethal damage, but that's assuming they didn't have anything else in their hand. All right, well, after that drag to the bottom, we're just going to go for it. They've got the Devious cover-up for Wanderer number 2. Shuffling a couple of things back in there. Oh, but Nahiri's Resolve. Let's make a token. It's going to have haste now.
We must
Let's get in finally for the win. Good game. All right. On to the next game here, starting off with some nice equipment and our Resolve. This is pretty much how we drew it up when we were making this deck, so let's give it a shot. All right. A 1/1 Death Toucher with Toxic for our opponent. I'm going to play Sundown Pass and give it back. Okay, Light Belly, going to do some proliferating once we get some poison counters going. Land number 2 for us, we're going to play Hexgold Halberd. See if our opponent still wants to attack or if they've got removal for our creature. What do we got? Opponent's got land number 3, looking at our thing. Going to do an Infectious Bite. Gives us a poison counter, takes down our creature. We are up to 4 poison counters now. Let's play land number 3. Could go Cathar, but I think War-Whip might just be better. We know we're building towards Resolve, and we want stuff on the board for that, but yeah, this might work for now. We're going to have something to do next turn anyway, so let's try... Yeah, let's try the Death Toucher, I guess. Okay, opponent with land number 4. Ugh. Vraska's Fall gets their creature back, brings us to 5 poison counters. This attack brings us up to 6. Not looking great. We do have a Wanderer here, and we are finally up to 4 mana. Opponent's got a Infectious Inquiry. Pushes us up to 7 poison counters. Goes to attacks. Let's do the Wandering Emperor. We're going to exile here. Prevent that from proliferating anymore when it dies, and that remaining creature gets us to 8. Rhuk here has haste. Not going to be super useful with this board. Let's go with the War-Whip. Makes a creature, and then the Halberd makes a creature. And then we'll put a counter on the Double Striker. Sounds good. All right, so we've got some blocks on the ground. 2 things, so they're going to need more than 1 removal spell to get in at us. And we've got enough equipment on board to make this Nahiri's Resolve pretty effective. All right, they just pass it on back, so we've brick-walled them enough. Let's see here. All right, let's get to combat first. They're still pretty high, so I think having Nahiri's Resolve down now, not going to make a huge difference. First strike takes down the Death Toucher, so no effect there. Let's make a token. Now we Nahiri's Resolve. And we'll exile all of our equipment. Great. Wanted to wait until the last minute to do that, so in case they were basing any decisions off of our previous board state. All right, so we get our equipment back. Everybody's got haste. Why don't you join the party, Circuit Mender? And, yeah, why not Rhuk, too? And we'll put a counter on our new goblin friend. Sure, why not? Math is for blockers. Let's send him in. Rook's going to trigger. And opponent sees it coming. He's had enough. Good game. All right. Can't keep that one. That's kind of the wrong half of our deck at the wrong time. We're going to put back the dragon equipment. Keep the War-Whip and the Resolve to go along with this Ossification. So our opponent looks to be on mono-red as they lead off with a Monastery Swiftspear. We draw Snubhorn. Let's ossify this Swiftspear, one of the more dangerous creatures that our opponent could be playing. Looks like we'll aim to War-Whip on turn 3. Snubby perhaps on turn 4 if we can keep these lands coming. Ossification a great draw. If it's not going to be a land, I would much rather have more removal. Okay, opponent's got land number 3. Goes for Mechanized Warfare. Okay. Starting to get a little dangerous. Let's see. It probably doesn't make a difference. We're going to go to attacks. Start getting some damage on them because we know we are going to play Snubby here. Nice 2-5. Thankfully, that's a little bit difficult for red decks to deal with as a general toughness number, but Mechanized Warfare could pump up their spells enough where they can get rid of it. Okay, Invasion of Regatha. It's enough thanks to the Warfare to get rid of our creature token, but Snubby's still big enough to remain behind. Well, he's got Vigilance. Let's send him in. Could tempt a block here if they've got some Play with Fire in hand. Nope, okay. Let's get our land down, go Nahiri's Resolve, and exile the equipment. Look to get a token out of that next turn. Oh, another invasion. Ouch. Okay, Invasion of Regatha. They opt to do damage to the other battle instead. Do a little damage to Snubby here. Well, I'm fine with throwing Snubby in front of this creature if we can remove it. He was a very good boy. All right, our War-Whip comes back thanks to Resolve. We draw Resolve number 2. Not sure how effective that's going to be, but it at least makes our creature bigger. There's nothing to ossify anyway. Let's get in. We're going to hit our opponent for 8 with this attack and threaten lethal next turn, so maybe we could direct some of their burn at our creature. But we are also threatening to bring back this equipment again and get a hasty token a second time. Opponent's got another invasion. What are they hitting with this? All right, they decide to hit one of the other invasions and get rid of our creature token. Gives them a 4/4. You know, part of me wonders if they had thrown all these invasions at our face, if we would have been dead. War-Whip comes back. We have Ossification for this blocker. Question is, does the opponent have removal for this creature token? Let's play a second one, see if we can't get around that a little bit. And send them in. Let's go. No removal. Just got there. Good game.